For the fallen!
I wasn't supposed to be there. That's the simplest way to explain it. The Ardent Trace was a low-grade survey vessel assigned to forgotten sectors, regions of space, long marked as irrelevant, too dangerous, or simply empty. I had taken the job because no one asked questions out there. No one cared who you were before, or what you were running from. My name is Kael Ryn, and at the time, I was just another ghost drifting between stars. The coordinates that changed everything came through as a corrupted fragment, half a signal buried inside background noise. It wasn't even meant for me. It pulsed once, then vanished. But I caught enough to reconstruct a location. An uncharted system far beyond the mapped edge of the Helios fringe. There were no records of it, no warnings, no history. That should have been my first clue. By the time I arrived, my ship was barely holding together. The journey through the fringe had shredded my navigation arrays and fried half my systems. But when the darkness finally gave way to light, I saw something that made every risk feel irrelevant. A planet, hidden in the shadow of a dying star. It shimmered like a jewel rings of pale gold orbiting its equator, storms of luminous particles dancing across its atmosphere. It wasn't natural. It couldn't be. And yet it was there, waiting. I descended without permission, without a plan, and without understanding the kind of mistake I was making. The atmosphere caught my ship like gentle hands. My hull stopped groaning. My systems stabilized. It was as if the planet itself was aware, welcoming or perhaps judging. I landed in a vast plain of black glass that reflected the sky like a mirror. In the distance, a city rose, if it could be called that. Towers curved like living things, their surfaces flowing with light. Bridges arched between them in defiance of gravity. The entire place seemed to breathe. I stepped out of the ship, my boots crunching softly against the glass-like ground. And that's when I noticed the silence, no wind, no animals, no movement. Just a stillness so complete it felt unnatural. I moved toward the city, drawn by something I couldn't explain. The closer I got, the more I felt it, a low hum in the air, like a heartbeat just beyond hearing. Then I heard something else, a voice soft, melodic, echoing through the empty streets. I followed it. I don't know how long I walked. Time felt distorted there. The light never shifted, and my instruments refused to give me consistent readings. Eventually, I reached a massive structure at the center of the city. A palace, if I had to name it. Its doors stood open, carved with symbols that seemed to move when I wasn't looking directly at them. I stepped inside. The interior was vast beyond reason. Columns stretched upward into darkness, their surfaces embedded with faintly glowing patterns. The floor beneath me pulsed with energy, reacting to my presence. And at the far end of the chamber, she stood there, still silent, radiant. She was the most stunning queen I'd ever seen. Her form was unmistakably human, yet impossibly perfect. Her armor shimmered like liquid silver, hugging her frame while shifting with each subtle movement. A translucent veil of energy drifted behind her like a living cloak. Her hair flowed in slow motion, as if untouched by gravity, streaked with threads of starlight. A crown hovered above her head, not resting but orbiting, made of thin arcs of glowing crystal that rotated endlessly. She didn't move, didn't speak, didn't even seem to breathe. I felt small just looking at her. I didn't know anyone lived here, I said, my voice echoing weakly through the chamber. No response. I took a cautious step forward. I mean no harm. Still nothing. I exhaled slowly, trying to steady my nerves. You're incredible. I hadn't meant to say it out loud, but the moment the words left my mouth, she moved, slowly, deliberately. She turned toward me and looked straight at me. Every instinct I had screamed at me to run. Her eyes were not human. They glowed with a soft, shifting light, like galaxies compressed into a single point. When they locked onto mine, I felt exposed in a way I had never experienced before. Not physically, mentally, emotionally, existentially. You are not of this world, she said. Her voice didn't echo, it resonated, as if the air itself carried her words directly into me. No, I managed. I'm not. She studied me, her gaze unblinking. You carry echoes of it, she added. I don't understand. You wouldn't. That stung more than I expected. Try me, I said. For a moment, I thought she might ignore me again. Then she began walking. Each step she took seemed to ripple through the floor, sending faint waves of light outward. "You came alone," she said. "Yes. Foolish. Story of my life." She stopped a few steps away from me. "You should not have come here." "Kael Ryn." I froze. "I didn't tell you my name. You didn't need to." Before I could respond, the ground trembled. A deep, distant rumble rolled through the palace. Her expression changed. Not fear, but concern. "They've found you," she said. "Who has?" She didn't answer. Instead, she turned her gaze upward. I followed it. Through the open ceiling of the chamber, I saw them. Ships, dozens of them, dark, angular, descending through the atmosphere like predators. My stomach dropped. "How did they?" "They followed your signal," she interrupted. "My distress beacon. Of course, you brought them here." The accusation hit harder than I expected. "I didn't know." "No," she said quietly. "You didn't." Another tremor shook the palace, stronger this time. Explosions lit up the distant skyline. The city was under attack. "Who are they?" I asked. "Hunters," she replied. "And they will not leave until they take what they came for." "And what's that?" She looked at me. "You," I laughed, a short, disbelieving sound. "You've got to be kidding." "I do not joke." Before I could argue, a section of the palace wall exploded inward. Debris scattered across the chamber as armored figures poured in, their weapons already charged. "Target acquired," one of them shouted. I raised my hands instinctively. "Wait, I'm not." The queen stepped in front of me, and everything changed. She lifted one hand, the air warped. Every weapon in the room twisted violently, metal bending as if caught in an invisible grip. The soldiers stumbled, disoriented, as their equipment failed. "Leave," she said. It wasn't loud, but it carried power. Some of them tried to retreat. Others fired anyway. That was their mistake. A wave of force erupted from her, slamming into them with devastating precision. They were thrown backward, crashing into walls, dropping instantly. I stared, speechless. "You're not just a queen, are you?" She didn't answer. More ships roared overhead. More soldiers were coming. "We don't have much time," she said. "If they breach the core, this world will fall. And how do we stop them?" She looked at me again, that same intense gaze. "You must awaken it." "Awaken what?" "The heart of this world." I shook my head. "I don't even know what that means." "You will." She reached out and placed her hand on my chest. Energy surged through me. Memories, no, not mine, flashed across my mind. Ancient battles, star empires rising and falling, a civilization that had once ruled entire galaxies. And at the center of it all, her. When the vision ended, I staggered back, gasping. "What was that?" "Truth," she said. "And why show me?" "Because you are the key." I laughed again, but it sounded hollow this time. "I'm just a pilot." "No," she said softly. "You are something far more." Another explosion rocked the palace. She extended her hand toward me. "Come with me if you want to survive." I hesitated, just for a second. Then I took her hand. Together we ran deeper into the palace, toward whatever heart she had spoken of, while the world above us burned. I didn't know if we would succeed. I didn't know if I would survive. But I knew one thing for certain. The moment she turned and looked at me, my life had already changed forever. And whatever happened next, there was no going back.